What's up guys, Sean here, and today we're going to talk about how Hillary Clinton stole the Democratic primary. I'm going to give you a complete timeline that you can refer back to so you know what happened and when. But first things first, I recently hit 1,500 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for getting me to 1,500. I really appreciate it. I know I haven't been uploading as of late, and that's just because I've been really sick. That's why this video is basically an audio only type video, rather than my normal in front of the camera type thing. Alright, so on to the main issue, Hillary Clinton. I don't typically cover Hillary Clinton stories. I know they pop up from time to time, but honestly, I feel like she's pretty irrelevant at this point. She lost the election and she just can't seem to get over it. Also, I feel like Trump supporters constantly bring up Hillary Clinton to basically say at least he's not Hillary Clinton. And when we're talking specifically about a Trump policy, I don't think it's really relevant to go into the other person who didn't win the election. Trump's the president, and it might be fine to say at least he's not Hillary Clinton during the election season, but after he won, he should be judged on his own policy. With all of that being said, the updates that we recently got from Donna Brazille's book are too juicy for me to look over. But I don't want to start there because the story doesn't really start there. The story actually starts in 2011. In 2011, then DNC chair Tim Kaine resigned from his post at the Democratic National Convention in order to run for Senate in Virginia. In his place, there was an interim head of the DNC, and that was Donna Brazille. And people actually speculated at the time that Donna Brazille would be the full-time head of the DNC. But what ended up happening is that the Obama administration and Tim Kaine and Hillary Clinton pushed for Debbie Wasserman Schultz to take over as the full-time head of the Democratic National Convention. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is a longtime Clinton acolyte. She was a part of the Hillary for President campaign in 2007, and it makes all the sense in the world for Hillary Clinton to want her at the DNC. So the 2012 election happens. Barack Obama wins the presidency. The Republicans increase their majority in the House, and they gain seats in the Senate while still maintaining a minority position. But then something strange starts happening at the DNC. You see, typically when you're running an election, specifically a presidential election, you'll essentially power up to run that election. The spending that the National Committee will do will dramatically increase, and this is because they're running a presidential election. However, you're supposed to power back down at the end of an election, because if you're not running a campaign, it makes very little sense for you to continue to spend campaign-level dollars when there's no election happening. But strangely enough, Debbie Wasserman Schultz at the DNC decides not to power down. For whatever reason, this former Clinton staffer continues to pay the Obama consultants their going rate, even though these are election consultants and President Obama is not running for re-election. This high rate of pay going to consultants continues up until 2015, when the party is $24 million in debt, and Hillary Clinton decides to come to the rescue. Now this is where the new Donna Brazille revelations come into play. Donna Brazille revealed that while she was the interim chairman of the DNC after Debbie Wasserman Schultz had to resign, she started looking into the party finances. She actually discovered the significant neglect in fundraising that happened under President Obama and the overwhelming debt that the DNC was in. At peak levels, it was actually $24 million worth of debt. Her revelation revealed that Debbie Wasserman Schultz continued to pay these Obama consultants as if they were running an election for president when they weren't, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz maintained an unusually high level of staff when they weren't running an election. So she decided to dig into the DNC to find out if they were in the tank for Clinton, and if the Clinton campaign was using the DNC to screw over Bernie Sanders, essentially rigging the primary process against Bernie. And what she found out was actually pretty amazing. It turned out that the DNC was in such bad financial straits that they signed an agreement with the Hillary Victory Fund in August of 2015, which basically turned over all staffing decisions and all money decisions to the Hillary Clinton campaign. Now, this was August of 2015. This was before Hillary Clinton had actually announced that she was running for president. So in August of 2015, 4 months before Hillary Clinton even announced that she was running for president, she had complete and utter control of the finances and hiring of the Democratic National Convention. So basically, she had full control of the DNC, which is supposed to be a neutral body overseeing the primaries. As a part of her takeover agreement, she put the DNC on a starvation diet, which essentially meant that Hillary was only giving them access to enough money to meet their basic needs, not enough money to win. Now, if you're a Democrat, this should really piss you off, because even if Hillary Clinton won the presidency, and this all worked out in her favor, what she was essentially doing was sabotaging any chance that the Democrats would win either congressional, Senate, or state-level elections. In fact, as a part of this agreement, the Clinton campaign was actually funneling money away from state, congressional, and Senate races to herself. Now ask yourself this: if you donate money to your state's Democratic Party, wouldn't you expect the state Democratic Party to have access to spend that money? Well, it turns out because of Hillary Clinton's buyout of the DNC, only 5 cents of every dollar went to state, congressional, and senatorial races. 95.5% of all money donated to the state parties was funneled directly to the Hillary Clinton campaign. Now, Politico reported on this during the campaign, and they accurately called it political money laundering. Because you can give more money to your state's party than you can an individual candidate, big donors would funnel money to Hillary Clinton through these state parties. Now again, it's one thing for this to happen during the general election, but this was happening during the primary process. This should blow you away, honestly, because Hillary Clinton almost lost the primary to Bernie Sanders. And this was while all of the Democratic parties across all the states were funneling 95.5% of their money to her campaign. And she still almost lost to this old grumpy socialist who can't even comb his fucking hair. Now, a lot of people on the more conspiratorial side are probably under the impression that Hillary Clinton had control of the DNC since 2011 when Wasserman Schultz took over. We actually covered this on the channel before, that there was a Podesta email leaked by WikiLeaks which actually suggested that Tim Kaine, when resigning, recommended Wasserman Schultz as a favor to Hillary Clinton in order to get something from her down the line, which in this case probably was the VP seat. Nobody for the life of them can figure out why Tim Kaine actually was chosen as the VP. You see, typically when you have a bland, uncharismatic, old, uninteresting, unappealing, Emperor Palpatine looking candidate, you would want to balance the ticket with somebody young to get some enthusiasm from the base. But Hillary Clinton chose somebody so bland and uninteresting that he's basically going to be a difficult trivia question 10 years from now. Now, whether or not Hillary Clinton installed Wasserman Schultz as early as 2011 with her eye on the presidency is neither here nor there. Regardless of whether she was intentionally doing so or it was due to incompetence, Debbie Wasserman Schultz did bankrupt the DNC, and this cost the Democrats significantly in the 2014 and the 2016 elections. And Hillary Clinton, rather than trying to rebuild the Democratic Party, cared only about winning her own personal election. And due to her unbelievable selfishness, the Democratic Party's terrible losses in 2016 are primarily on her. Now look, I'm not a Trump supporter or a Trump fan, and I understand the people that are really upset and they feel like that Donald Trump doesn't deserve to be president. But here's the thing, Donald Trump may not deserve to be president, but the one person who did deserve to lose to Donald Trump was Hillary Clinton. And for the record, a lot of people who are praising Donna Brazille and giving her all this credit for revealing the corruption within the Democratic Party obviously don't understand what kind of person Brazille is and why she did this. Remember, she's the same exact person who, when she worked for CNN, was leaking debate questions to Hillary Clinton to go after Bernie Sanders. Donna Brazille is no hero. She is no virtuous person. What she is somebody who goes where the power is. So what's going on is that this should be treated as a signal to the rest of the people in the Democratic Party that people believe that the power lies with Bernie Sanders and they're starting to align themselves with him. Not out of ideological agreement, but just based on the fact that they want to be a part of that power. So Donna Brazille, I appreciate what you did, but you're no hero. Let's stop pretending that you are. Furthermore, I know a lot of people will be really happy that Bernie Sanders is the de facto leader of the Democratic Party and that people are trying to align themselves with him because that's where the power is now. But Bernie Sanders is so goddamn weak. Apparently, in September of 2016, Donna Brazille told Bernie Sanders that the Democratic Party essentially stole the primary from him. Did he come out and say it? Did he stand by his campaign and say that he was ripped off? No. He backed Hillary Clinton anyway. Bernie Sanders is horrifically weak as a person, and the fact that he couldn't even muster up the strength to call out the person that stole an election from him is absolutely ridiculous. The dude didn't earn this power, he basically fell ass backwards into it. Anyway, that's all I really have for you guys today. Special thanks to my patrons, Louis Coldance, Mike Barbosa, and Peppy Loves Trump. Your support helps me keep this channel running, and I really appreciate it. If you guys want to become Patreon contributors, then there is a link in the description for you to do so. If you like this video, then please show me by leaving a like. You can subscribe for more content. Follow me on all my social medias. This has been Sean with the rabbit mask. It's back. It's amazing. I know. Until next time.